Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 9. Today we're going to be adding decimal numbers, and we're going to start out with some words here, and then we're going to work on to the standard algorithm, which is the standard way that everybody adds decimal numbers. So my first problem here, I have 14 tenths plus 9 tenths, and how many tenths is that, and what is that, and written in standard form. And so if I have 14 of something and then 9 of something, I end up with 23 of something. So I have 23 tenths. Now, if I were to do my place value chart here, 23 tenths looks like this, and there's my decimal point. So that becomes 2 and 3 tenths, remembering that every 10 tenths becomes a whole. So I have 20 tenths, that becomes 2 wholes, and then 3 tenths left over. Now for my next problem, I have 6 tenths plus 3 thousandths. Different units here, be careful of that, is how many thousandths. So I need to change my 6 tenths into some number of thousandths. So again, drawing my place value chart, if I have my decimal point right here, and I have my tenths, my hundredths, my thousandths, and I have 6 tenths. There's my decimal point. I can fill that in with zeros to give me 600 thousandths. Plus I have this other 3 thousandths that I'm adding on. So you can see here that I'm going to have 603 thousandths, or 603 thousandths written in decimal form like that. For my last problem, I have 2 thousandths plus 9 ones, 5 thousandths. So this is one number, but it's kind of put together. Is how many thousandths? So again, I'm going to draw my chart. And it says here that I have 2 thousandths, so there's my 2 thousandths. And then the other one says I have 9 ones. There's my 9 ones. And 5 thousandths. There's my 5 thousandths, and these would be 0. So I can see that I would have, if I put these together, 9,005 plus 2 is 7. So I'd have 9,007 thousandths, which as a decimal number is going to be 9 and 7 thousandths. So that's kind of the range of problems you can get with words like that. Next we'll go on to our standard algorithm. So here we have a pretty basic problem. We have 0 and 3 tenths plus 0 and 82 hundredths. And I'm just going to show you on this number chart why we do what we do on when we're using the standard algorithm. So if I was to transfer these numbers, I'd have my 3 tenths there, and I'd have my 82 hundredths there, and you can see that the decimal point lines up. And when the decimal point lines up, so do the tenths, and so do the hundredths, and so do the ones and tens, and so on. So we're always adding like units. This is important. Before now, we've always lined up the right hand side because that would always line up your ones place and everything would be lined up place value wise. Now we have to really focus on that decimal point. So the other thing to look at here is when I'm adding, it's helpful to put that 0 in so they have the same number of places. So that's why we do what we do. Now if I came over to this problem here, I would have 0 and 3 tenths plus, remember we're lining up that decimal point, 82 hundredths. If I lined up the right hand digit, I would be messed up. Add my 0 just to make things a little easier, and then add as you always did. 0 plus 2 is 2, and 3 plus 8 is 11. And since I have 11 tenths, 10 of those tenths can make a whole. So I get my whole, and there's my decimal point, and there's my answer. So really when you're adding these for the standard algorithm, all you have to remember is to line up your decimal points. If you don't, you'll get it wrong more times than not. If you do, you'll never go wrong. And that's it for today's lesson.